SPOLIN yeteneğin kişinin deneyimleme kapasitesinin genişliğiyle doğru orantılı olduğunu söylüyor. Benim hocam Mike Nichols da hep bir şeyi uzun süre yaparsanız o şeyde iyi olursunuz derdi. Bu çok basit duyuluyor ama hayata geçirmesi o kadar basit değil. Çünkü düşündüğünüz zaman hep sonuçlar peşinde koşuyoruz. Ve bu durumu yaratan da toplumdan onay alma isteği. Ve bu toplum dediğimiz şey daha çok küçük yaşta anne babamızla hayatımıza giriyor. Ve çok azımız bu onay alma isteğinden sıyrılıp gerçek potansiyelimizi keşfederek yaşıyoruz hayatı. Spolin'in kullandığı dil çalışma alanındaki otoriteyi kaldırmayı ve zamanla bağımsız oyuncular yetiştirmeyi hedef alıyor. Yani illa birinin onayına bağlı olmayan ve kendi deneyimini olabildiğince kendini yargılamadan değerlendirebilen oyuncular. Düşündüğünüz zaman bu bir profesyonel için altın anahtar niteliğinde.
Oh my goodness, where? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. But you don't want that.
No, it's all right, it's all right. Słuchajcie, it's a short, without one.
Well, I have this, and I need, can you help? I just want, have you seen this girl? Switch. Students, they want, you know, tell me I'm good, even tell me I'm bad, a lot of people. You know, they kind of want to hit themselves, and when you don't give that, eventually they get accustomed to it, and then they don't care anymore, and then they're really just playing with each other and not for your benefit, hopefully.
But if an actor is having a problem projecting, saying share your voice is inclusive of the actor sharing with us. So there's a lot of, you know, just the terminology that's not judgmental from SPOLIN. And the specific language that she uses. It's not intimidating. It's not shutting down or blocking the actor. Because in a sense, directing is finding ways to unblock actors from whatever it is, whether they're feeling intimidation by the director or other actors or whatever. Your job as a director is to unblock actors so that they can be free and be as expressive as they can. And SPOLIN's side coaching is a great way for directors to learn how to direct coach without blocking actors down. And from my experience as an actor over many years, a lot of directors blocked me through their direction.
Face, no, correct. This is what I brought for you.
Someone kidding still on a con.
This is the kind of bullshit you show me. No, this is the real stick, the good stuff.
Switch.
You know, when people talk about stage presence, I think it's being present. And to me, Fuel Your Feet is about be present, you know, to the present moment. Well, when you get with a group, it happens within the first, half hour, everything changes.
Because if you have a group of people who are really open to the work and who are really want to explore the possibilities that this SPOLIN games and SPOLIN work offers you, you can develop not only a proficiency with the work, but you can develop a relationship with these people that you can't develop in any other way. I mean, you have to allow yourself to be completely vulnerable to everything that's happening. You have to completely get out of your head and just allow everything to be right in front of you. And to do that with next to another person or with another person, it's just not. It's not the thing that we're taught to do in regular everyday society. So you develop a connection with these people, and that was the thing that really kind of helped me and pushed me along into wanting to understand the form.
Oh, Nana, push,
Oh my goodness gracious, I am so freezing cold.
beautiful.
That's right, it is cold here, and what you need is a really woolly, furry hat.
Samantha,
Oh, you're possible!
Oh, you're one of those kind of guys. I'm gonna fussy about your hair. Switch!
When I'm on stage, I can't not use it. for me, it's a lot of partnering with the environment, and how I'm feeling, and what's happening between us is through the space, and it's there in front of you, and if you don't acknowledge it, then you're just not in the same place.
I don't know any other technique that uses space work.
No, and
Right?
and it's such a I think Viewpoints deals with it to some extent, but even Viewpoints is this almost separate abstract of the space work, which with SPOLIN, or at least with my work in SPOLIN, is very sort of matter of fact. You're this many feet away from me, that causes whatever emotional or behavioral response in me, and that's another thing that just happened in the room, and we can all just come back to these two things that just went down. Let's not pretend that it's not arbitrarily extrapolated into some interpretation of some thing we're making up. Because I said so. I love you.
I forgot that.
I should not have been listening, but I was. Yeah. I'm glad you heard, because it's over.
Shut. I typical don't even. Oh shit. Okay.
Good for you. It's about time you said to that woman, Elmer.
Before I was exposed to SPOLIN work, I used to think, improvisation was going for a laugh. And I realized that through SPOLIN that it's a whole different thing. It's about acting itself. It's about being present and partnering and creating on the spot something with your partner or partners. And it allows you to get out of your head and just let the work flow and come up with things, which is great. It frees you from everything. Especially in my case, it freed me from my fear because I was present. I didn't have to think about anything.
For me, it's when I'm at my most heightened state of awareness of everything that's going on, is when I'm doing improv. And that completely transfers into everything else I do in terms of acting and going up a script, all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, yes. Should we think it's emotional? Oh, you don't know what I'm feeling. Oh, I feel it in my bones. Should we think it's emotional? Oh, my arms. How you do it?
After I graduated from the New Actors Workshop, I studied method acting for about 6 years with the director, through sense memory and doing effective memory, and I came back around full circle to have an understanding about Viola Spolin's work, that they're really after the same thing but coming in two different directions.
I believe if you're truly present and in the space, then things can happen between actors. Really happen, not, oh, I have an idea and this is my motivation and here's my objective and here's my super objective. Not making fun of those, even though it seemed like I just was. And I think that's where we get excited when something happens in the theater, is when something real happens, really happens. We get very excited when like a pen falls on the ground and everybody in the audience can see it. We have that moment together. And I think SPOLIN has, if you're really in the space, and then that happens over and over and over again, is those moments of, like constantly. And I think that's what makes it so exciting. It's certainly, I think that's what SPOLIN, what Viola knew, working with kids.
Tabii tüm bu incelikleri sebebiyle SPOLIN tekniği yaratıldığı zamandan bu yana doğaçlama ve oyunculuk sanatı dışında kişisel gelişim yöntemleri, eğitim felsefesi, yaratıcı drama ve iletişimle ilgili alanları etkilemiş. Birçok farklı eğitmen bu egzersizlerden yararlanıp kendi egzersizlerini yaratmış.